Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Jay Rhodes, award-winning music producer from Dallas, Texas. Let me ask y'all a question, though. What do you get when you get 10 of the dopest up-and-coming producers in one house? Put them through a myriad of crazy challenges, all for $1,000 in cash, a crazy prize package, and a chance to work with the legendary Talib Kweli. Some may call it a dream, but we label it the House of Beats. Come walk with us inside to see what's up. So, we finally made it to the house. And on this episode of House of Beats, we really want you to get to know the producers. Not just the beats they made, but them as individuals.
What's going on? My name is Don P. from the south side of Chicago, by way of Aurora. I was born in England, grew up in Nigeria, moved to the United States, been in the United States forever. I got into making beats. I was inspired by a VH1 documentary that they did with Kanye West, and it was very inspiring because he was really dope. And my favorite producers also are DJ Premier. I became a fan of DJ Premier and his sounds of beats, and my first hardware machine equipment I bought was the MPC 2000 XL. I had a Casio, and I just started making beats, and this was like in 2007, 2008. That's how I got started with making beats and doing music.
Man, Don P is a real good dude. Like, he always showed love through Instagram. I think I first met him because I flipped a Fela Kunta sample, and you know, he's Nigerian, so he kind of like, you know, showed me love for doing that. And I think I met with him in Chicago. My first time in Chicago, he showed us around downtown. We had a great time my first time meeting him. He has a real dope, you know, kind of boom bap sound. It's real hard and it's aggressive. So I felt that he really deserved the chance to compete in the House of Beats because I felt he had a shot at winning it. Real good guy, fun loving, funny. He was kind of the spark of the house, you know, the silly one, class clown, if you will, you know, kept everybody on their toes.
My name is Ivory Kelly. I go by TFO. I got into music in 2006, but really got more professional with it in 2008. I have always loved music. I remember as a little girl, I would love to just like manipulate sounds with like different headphones. I don't know if y'all remember the Walkman, but I had a Walkman and...
It's your setup right here?
Yeah.
You decided to stay isolated from everybody, huh?
I thought that, but since everybody cooking up downstairs, I might go ahead and go downstairs.
Oh, okay. You gonna keep the vibe with everybody else?
Absolutely. They got the energy going down there, for real. I had a Walkman and would play my tapes backwards, and it intrigued me as a child, and I just carried that desire into adulthood, and I always wanted to express music, and once I was able to, the door just opened up for that opportunity, and I am excited to do what I love. This is something that is a passion for me, so.
TFO is a real dope producer and an even better person. Like, she humbly would hit me up in my DMs trying to get some, you know, knowledge of the game, you know, willing to pay for beat sessions. What that showed me was that she was hungry and willing to invest in her craft. So I felt that she really deserved to compete in the House of Beats, not just due to her talent, but due to her as a person. And I think what's dope is that there is female representation. I think is not as prevalent in the producer community, but I think, you know, she's just a dope producer, period. But I think it's still dope when someone can also rep for females.
I'm Daniel, and I'm from Beaumont, Texas. Growing up, I think I've always been interested in creating things, like drawing, and I remember we used to play this old first-person shooter named Duke Nukem. I used to build levels on there more than I played the game because I just liked creating them. And so I think my love for music came from loving creating things and admiring them afterwards. At the time, it wasn't FL Studio, it was like Fruity Loops, and people considered it a toy at that time, but that was in 2001. From then on, I was doing music. Maybe the past 10 years is when I really started trying to push my music and try to do something with it.
Jedidiah Productions. Y'all can get tired of me sounding like a broken record, but this is another real dope producer and also an even better person. Very exciting to give him an opportunity for House of Beats. I think he's gonna bring a real wild card dynamic to the HOB, man. So I'm very happy to have him in the house.
Interesting story. As of today, I just got fired from my job and everything opened up for me. Today is gonna be a pivotal day because of this show and everything that's going on here. It's been a blessing in disguise and just a blessing overall being here. So I'm thankful to J Rose and Maschine Masters for allowing me to do this and seeing the potential in me, and so I'm very grateful for that.
Name Andre Lovely. I go by the name of Dre Love. I got into music at a very young age. My father and my uncles and stuff, drummers. I come from a long history of musicians and stuff like that. So my dad used to bring me around musicians all the time as a kid. So I just gravitated towards it naturally, and this came natural to me, to be honest. So yeah, I play keys, church musician and stuff like that. So I started off on the drums like all church musicians, but you know, eventually made my way to the keys because it seemed like everybody wasn't trying to hog the key. So that's why we went there. Yeah.
Dre Love, man, I'm very excited to have him a part of the competition. He was one of my students in my first music business class when I taught at Media Tech Institute, and he would always hit me up in my email, in my DMs, you know, just asking insight, advice, techniques, and everything, and just to see his growth is very great, and I'm happy to have him a part of the competition.
One piece of my piece, who put mine for mine, who bring them to their color, who need a sign of the times. You should shine your light and keep it present in your memory. Before we can stay in the fight on us knees, look, some days you'll be the only.
This guy.
This dude. What's up, y'all? I'm Dirty Snares from Flint, Michigan. Right now I live in Dallas. I started making music when I was in the military, actually. I was in Baghdad, Iraq. I was in the United States Army. When I was overseas, a couple of buddies of mine and myself got into beat making. Started on Fruity Loops, then went to Reasons 2.5, and everything I used wasn't like fitting my style. I grew up in a household where my mom and dad played the Dells, the Delphonics, Al Green. So making beats from scratch wasn't my strongest point. So I got on YouTube one day years ago and seen a guy named Booney Mayfield on an MPC 1000 making beats, and it kind of sparked my interest, like, yo, I think I can do this. So I ended up getting a used MPC 2500 off of eBay, 500 bucks, buttons halfway worked. Went on another site, kind of fixed it up a little bit. The first day I started making beats, man, I made like 3 beats. And I was like, yo, I had the bug, I had the beat bug, man, and I've been going ever since, so that's it.
Dirty Snares, a guy that I used to see a lot around, you know, a lot of producer events. Real cool dude, would email me stuff, you know, for critiques, and would always, you know, try to keep his ear to the street. And so I think he's a very good person to have in this competition, because to me, he represents the first kind of beats that were ever made almost, you know, kind of like boom bap, soulful, sample-based stuff. In this new age where a lot of productions are going to more futuristic things, it's good to have a throwback in this competition. So it's gonna be interesting to see how his style, you know, competes and collides with the other contestants.
Swing World in the building, you know what time it is?
Oh,
we don't deliver, but on special occasions.
Room full of producers in here, boy.
I know, right?
I've seen laptops everywhere.
My name is Subtonic and I'm from Agana Heights, Guam. I've been around music since I was little. My mom got me into piano lessons when I was about 5 or 6. Like around when I was 8 years old, I started playing percussion in band throughout school, and that continued all the way through high school. I always had a love for like gaming music because I'm a gamer at heart, and one of my friends hooked me up with FL Studio when I was a junior in high school, and I just kind of fell in love with production. I still never thought I could do music as like a career, so I went off to college. I played college football for a couple years. I was a computer science major, and I realized that I just didn't like it. So I transferred schools. I went to Dallas Baptist University and I got my degree in music business with my emphasis in recording and engineering. When I graduated, my parents gave me a choice for my graduation present. I can either go back to Guam for a week or use the money that they had saved up to go towards me having a home studio setup, and I chose the home studio setup, and I've been working on my craft ever since.
Alright, so Subtonic, very happy to have him a part of the House of Beats, real, you know, cool with his family, real close to his father and his mom. The first time I heard Subtonic, it was at a producer showcase, and I was doing his critique. I had some one-on-ones with him, and he played some stuff, and this is why you never down to tell somebody that what they have is trash, or just, you know, even if maybe it can use some polish. He was an up-and-coming producer and he was new, so instead of me being all like, oh, I don't like the whatever, like, man, you know, maybe your sound is for video games. You can build it here, you can do that. Just gave him positive feedback, and I think that was 3 years ago. To be totally honest, wasn't really a fan of what he played initially, but I kind of looked at the positive aspects of it. And so 3 years go by. I think he took some of the things I said, took some of the mentoring from other people, and he's just very, 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 very dope producer. So the next producer is Willie T. I'm really excited to see what he has. I've kind of seen him come up through the beat battle ranks and seen him come up through the producer showcase, and he's very intent on his sound, and he's also very intent on getting the knowledge and making it, and he was a very good fit for this competition just because of his work ethic. So I can't wait to see what he plays.
I got into music, man, pretty much went undercover. What I mean by undercover, I was interested in production but really didn't know how. And the only people that I knew who knew producers were rappers. So I posed as a rapper for like 2 years to learn what I needed, whether it be FL Studio, learned about studio monitors, interfaces and everything. Learned what I needed to get started, and once I got the basics down, put my rap career to the side and started my production career.
My name is Norman Bates. I'm a producer and rapper from Los Angeles, California. I started producing maybe 6 years ago, I want to say, but I always been into music, you know what I mean? I always been a writer, a rapper, an MC, and all of that stuff, so I've always been deep into the music. How I got into production was I started recording myself on like Pro Tools because I got tired of going to the studio all the time, and I just bought my own home setup, so I started teaching myself how to record and engineer, mix and stuff like that. And then once I got familiar with that, like working the DAW, I just bought Reason and I started making beats on there, just practicing, getting better. And over time, I eventually ended up getting a Maschine MK2 from one of my homeboys, and I started working on that and ended up developing my production skills and getting a lot better and a lot more proficient at it than I ever expected I would be. So I started taking it a lot more serious, and it led me to doing stuff like this challenge here, being out in Dallas, you know what I mean? I'm feeling excellent, man. I'm feeling great. It's a good vibe in here, good people, man. We in here working, being creative. It's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Coming in from LA, the boy Bates, I mean, crazy, incredible producer, crazy artist as well. He just kind of brings that that real, you know, LA, you know, West Coast vibe in his beats and his music. So I'm excited to see what he brings.
Hi, I'm CK Jones. I am from Sarasota, Florida. I moved out to LA in 2014, so I've been there for almost 5 years now. I started my journey in music production in the beginning of 2016, right around when I met Jay Rhodes. He was on his book tour, and it was a showcase for hip-hop producers. At the time, I had played a collab track of electronic music. I played dubstep because I thought it was close enough. He introduced me to a producer around where I'm from, and that's how I got started in the industry. It's been a really cool journey all the way through. I've met amazing people. The first year I started producing, I did some beat battles. The second year I got a really cool internship. Then I started working on records with artists. The most recent stuff I've done is some TV sync stuff for the Drip Library for Rostrum with Amani. And yeah, that's it.
So we got 2 dope female producers in this competition, man. So I hope that's just inspiring a lot of the female music makers around the world right now. But anyway, Karina, I met her a few years back and I had a speaking engagement at SAE and she just came all bubbly. Oh, you know, I just like to mix. I don't produce that much to do with it. That's how she talked. But anyway, I mean, the next day we were in the studio. We were actually in Dr. Dre's engineer studio working and she just came in there. She was writing and then, you know, she was giving great input and we've been like real good friends ever since. Mind you, just because some of these people are my friends, they're not getting in just on that. They gotta have skill anyway, so I don't want nobody saying nothing anyway. But I'm very excited about Karina just to see her growth. Like she's got herself in a lot of cool places just by working and doing her thing. So she was a perfect fit for the House of Beats. So Igami, the last producer in this competition, he went last like even before everything happened. Like he just, that kid in elementary that always got picked last for everything, you know, so we were laughing at him and, you know, joking. But yeah, Igami came in and did his thing and really put his stamp on the competition as one of the front runners. So man, y'all don't ever sleep on the dark horse.
Hey, my name is Igami. What's up? I go by Igami. I'm from Dallas and I got into music at a pretty young age playing piano, and then I switched over to guitar, played guitar for 10 years and was writing, you know, on my guitar and eventually wanted to record it. Downloaded Audacity and started recording songs and then wanted to take it to the next level. So I downloaded Cubase, started using that, then got into all the software that was, you know, came with Cubase and was making EDM and rock and, you know, hip hop and stuff like that and just kind of making everything and here I am.
Man, the House of Beats, this was the most amazing thing I've been part of.
Productions and, oh, hold on, can I start over?
That camera right there.
Okay.
All right, cool.
What was the question again?
Experience being in the House of Beats, a terrible experience. I don't recommend it for nobody. Just playing.
So first things first, which camera do I look at?
That's good. I appreciate it.
That's it?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Don't lie, bro. I was like, wait a minute, man. Who the fuck is on my metronome? This guy.
Where am I in the scene, man? Let me get a little sip real quick.
Okay. Collection agency, maybe?
Cool. This guy.
You know I'm gonna put that in there, right?
Oh man.
Now that's another dope, exciting episode of House of Beats. On the next episode, we're gonna bring the challenges back. Not your normal challenges either. We're gonna give them something crazy to test their producer savvy. And you know how we do. Everything in the House of Beats is gonna be dope, dope, dope. And it's amazing. It's gonna be tight, man. It's gonna be super tight.
Peace.